America today looks unstoppable. Massive cities, powerful military, billion-dollar tech empires. But what if I told you it almost didn't happen? There was a time when the US was weak, poor, divided, and on the edge of total collapse. It fought the world's strongest empire, tore itself apart in a bloody civil war, and faced battles that could have ended everything. This is not just a history story, it's the story of how one nation defied all odds, how it rose from nothing, and how its darkest moments shaped its greatest victories. Stay till the end, because America's story may surprise you. Before it became the United States, this land was just 13 small colonies ruled by Britain. They had no real army, no money, and no chance of winning a war. But in 1776, they said, enough. They declared independence from the most powerful empire on earth. Britain laughed. These farmers and blacksmiths had no idea what they were doing. And honestly, they didn't. But they had something stronger than guns. They had an idea: freedom. The war dragged for years, towns were burned, soldiers froze. George Washington led troops with no shoes, no food, and no clue if they'd survive. And yet, against all logic, they won. The world had just witnessed a miracle, a brand new country, born from rebellion. But freedom wasn't for everyone. Slavery still chained millions, and tension between North and South grew worse every year. In 1861, the United States split in two. It wasn't just a war between regions. It was a war between neighbors, between brothers. The Civil War was brutal. Over 600,000 lives lost. Cities were destroyed, families shattered. And yet, in the middle of this horror, a quiet decision changed everything. President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation and ended slavery in the South. By the end of the war, America was back together, but the scars stayed forever. After war came steel, smoke, and speed. America exploded with growth. Railroads crossed the country. Factories popped up overnight. People from every corner of the world came chasing the American dream. But behind the dream was a darker truth. Children worked in factories. Poor immigrants were overworked and underpaid. Rich men, like Rockefeller and Carnegie, controlled everything. Yet through all this, the country moved forward. Electricity, telephones, cars. The world started watching this strange new nation with curiosity. Then, the world caught fire. Twice. In World War I, America entered late, but when it did, it made a difference. In World War II, it wasn't just late, it became the leader. While cities in Europe crumbled, America became the factory of the world, building tanks, planes, and hope. And when the war ended, America held the most terrifying power of all, the atomic bomb. In 1945, the message was clear. The US wasn't just a country anymore. It was now a superpower. But power came with pressure. Back home, Americans were fighting their own battles for equality, for justice, for peace. Martin Luther King Jr. marched. Soldiers returned from Vietnam, broken. College students protested war. Presidents were assassinated. And yet, the same country landed a man on the moon, created the internet, launched companies that would change how the world lives. It stumbled, it argued, it disagreed, but it kept moving. America was never perfect. It still isn't. But its story is one of survival. It rose from rebellion, survived civil war, led the world through fire, and today, despite all its flaws, it still writes the future. The question is, what comes next? If this story made you think, share it. History isn't just about the past, sir, it's a warning. Subscribe to Neo Story Studio for more stories that matter.